Paddy works on the railway. In 1842 from Hartlepool I moved to Crewe, found myself a job to do, working on the rail.
Hello, welcome back to the workshop. Today we're going to be doing something slightly different. This is about selling stuff. And this is aimed at a turner who's started out, learned the basics, made some nice stuff, given it to all his relatives, fed up with giving turned items as presents, filled the house up with bits, all sorts of shapes and sizes, got a bit of skill, and now has cardboard boxes or shelves so crammed full of wood turning he'll need to get rid of it. Comes to us all. And the first and logical thought is, let's get to a craft fair. Unfortunately, the reality of craft fairs is you turn up there and you put your bowl that you spent 4 days turning, finishing, perfecting, 4 days of labour, 50 quid's worth of timber, and you put it on the shelf and somebody wants to give you £5 for it. They're more jumble sale than craft fair these days. So put the high-end stuff out there by all means, because people will look at that and then they'll take your business card and they'll contact you a month later or a year later and say, can you make me this? Worth doing. But you also need to cover the cost of your table. So you need some quick and dirty, nice and easy, cheap things that you can sell. I'm going to be doing some of those today, and I might do a little session of different videos on different cheap things to make. Today I'm looking at cheap wooden pendants. Now this is cheap wooden pendants. There is also expensive wooden pendants. Those that use bits of burr, those that use manufactured blanks with resin and timber and hours of work in setting up. That's not these. These are quick and dirties. If you haven't got a laser, they look like that. And you can add a splash of colour and that'll make them saleable. But they're saleable as they are for little money. As they're little money, they need to be quick. So that's how this method comes into its own. And they're turned in face grain, bowl orientation, whichever you want to call it. So this spindle blank is of no use. I need to turn that way. So I need to chop that up so I can turn the face. If your timber's a bit dirty, or if you're going to chop some blanks up and then put them in the shed for 6 months before you do this job, always a good tip. Put the arrows on all the way around so that you can trim off one edge and not lose them. Showing which way the grain went before you made it into a cube, which then got grubby and you couldn't quite see what goes where. So that's what the arrows are for. I'll pop over to the bandsaw, prep this blank, put it on the lathe, and then we'll go from there. I didn't previously mention dimensions. The pendants I'm going for are about 50mm. That's the size I find as well. And you can see here how those arrows have come into their own. That's my face grain, end grain, face grain. And this piece of wood is fairly easy to see, but you know, imagine that with a couple of months of sawdust and grime on it, it would be difficult to tell which is which. So those arrows come into their own. So all I'm going to do now is turn that round, put a chuck mount on it, and then we start work. Remember, face grain orientation, so we're looking at a bowl gouge. I cut 2 cubes, so I might as well prep 2 cubes. So we've got it in the jug. The observant amongst you will have said, you didn't measure that tenon. No. If you've done enough of them, you kind of know where it is. Things I'm not going to measure this particularly. I will check it. That's about 50 mil. Very close. This off the end because we've got a tool marking there from the step centre is what I was about to say. And then just slightly curve it. They're convex. Right, I'm going to sand that now. So that's done. I believe that's the size that we want, so we'll just continue that down here a bit. Ready for the next one. And then we find it off. Nothing fancy. We want about 3 mil roughly in the sidewall, so this is a 3 mil parting tool. So if we do that and then just shift it back the same width. Find it off. It'll hit the floor, don't worry about that. And then we just do the same again. And this piece, I could get another one out of there if I was stingy. Don't need to. I want to cut a slight cove. That slight cove kind of matches that, and we can stick them together. And this is double-sided carpet tape. Getting B&Q or any hardware store. Nothing special about it. Some turners have their favourite brands. I don't usually have to have a favourite. I just use what I've got, whatever's available. Cut up a piece, stick it in there, and peel off the backing. That's the hardest part of the job. Should be on the other camera, really. There you go. Now, because this was the size that you started with, it's very easy to just line up your piece, stick it in there on that carpet tape, and that should spin pretty much bang on. Good enough for me. Now you're only on carpet tape, so delicate cuts is the answer here. Still going to stick with the bowl gouge. I'm going to put down to a 3/8 or ½ inch US style. Adjust the tool slightly. And basically match the front. Another 2 cuts, and then sand it. What I do just touch this edge with a bit of 400. Flip some. That one off. This one on. Normally I do these in batches of 5. I only got 3 out of this piece. So I'm doing a batch of 3. I think batches of 5 is about your limit, because after that the carpet tape starts to give out. Now I've got a drill press which is off camera, so I just popped over there and I drilled 3 holes about 10mm in from the outside edge with this grain pattern the way I want it. You could do it just as easily with a hand drill. And this is where it gets a bit dodgy. Use your tailstock to centre that hole onto the groove, onto the sticker pad. You see it's not fully on, for obvious reasons, but that's your alignment. Try to do it as best you can. And this requires a very delicate touch. This is where you will find you will lose some. They will come flying off. They will go quite well across the workshop. They don't weigh anything. They're not going to hurt you, so don't worry about it. Just see if you can find them. Otherwise, you have to cut some more. I'm going to go with a spindle gouge. And all I want to do is slide this into that hole. At this stage, sand that by hand. I'll go straight in with 400. Take it off and repeat for the other side. Notice those shavings that you just made get stuck to the tape where the hole was. Nuisance. You know about it. That's why there's a limit on how many you can do in one go. Same thing, just center it up. Press it in. Set your tool rest, make sure it's not going to hit. Okay, so if you repeat that for all of them, you should end up with what looks like an authentic turned hole. Authentic-ish. You could just put them on a bit of little thong. And you have a pendant. I haven't finished this yet, but a bit of oil on there or something to smarten it up. And you have a pendant that shows a nice bit of wood grain. Or, in this case, 3. Like I said, normally I would do them better than 5. If I find any more than that, and all the stick has gone from the carpet tape and they fly more than you cut them. So about 5 is the middle. Now I take my pendants to the next stage. If you happen to be talented with a paintbrush, you could paint a picture on them. If you happen to be talented with a pyro pen, you could pyrograph it in. If you're a techie but with no skills at all, you can use a laser. Now to make that doable, I make this jig. Literally just a small piece of ply, little rail across the front and side there, just so I can hook that onto the front corner of the table and it will be in the same place every time. I'll then put a piece of card on the top and I'll cut a 50mm hole in it. And there's a little pin in there as well, which shows on the camera. Basically, I drop that on the pin and lay it on the laser, and everyone will be in the same place. So then in my laser program,
I use Lightburn. This is a voiceover because I forgot to set the microphone on the recording. Anyway, this drawing has nothing set to burn, so everything is turned off. I've got my jig in the bottom left there, and I've got various designs here which I can just pick up and drop into that circle. The Chinese text I just put into Google Translate, any phrase you like. I've even got Yorkshire tea. People just like to see Chinese characters. But usual trite, hope, peace, love, all that sort of stuff. Celtic knots are also popular and suit this, and of course the love hearts. So all I do is drag it from there, put it into the centre of my circle, resize it, shape it, make it fit, and turn that particular colour on to burn. Obviously if I'm doing this properly I will do this once and then burn, I don't know, 5 or whatever of that design, and then move on to something different as the mood takes me.
Now, I think the engraving kind of doubles the price. Blank disc, depending on where you are, somewhere between £3 and £5, and the engraved disc somewhere between £6 and £10. So fairly quickly, I've got a little bowl there with a few in there. Hour, 2 hours work maybe. And I've got potential sales that will sell at a craft market where people are willing to spend pocket money but not buy an artist gallery type bowl. And I've probably got the same amount of money there as I would have for an artist gallery type bowl in a fairly short time. Anyway, just an idea. I will try and do some more similar sort of things, quick and easy projects that are worth small amounts of money but are saleable. One final thing. When Mike walked in his live the other week and he said anything you can demonstrate on the lathe he will, I requested he demonstrate why you should take the pointy bit out of the tailstock when you're not using it, and he refused. So that's what happens. You leave the point in there, and at some point you're going to touch your hand against it or your elbow, so we call it the elbow stabber, and you're going to get blood everywhere. That said, thanks for watching. Cheers for now. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're not. You're all welcome, and I enjoy making the videos for you. Bye for now.